The unfortunate happened. I lost this beautiful baby girl at 39 weeks and 5 days.
Really?
A week to my exam.
No, I'm sorry.
You
Hello,
are
everyone.
listening to
Happy to
NMDA
come
Talk.
your way again. It's a pleasure to be with you one more time. Today, I have a very important guest going to talk to us today about a very important subject. I'll let my friend introduce herself and then we'll get the conversation started. Hello, friend. Who do I have here today?
Hi, I'm Roselynn Badu from Ghana, and I'm a PhD student in University of Ghana.
I'm glad you are able to join us today. You said you were a graduate student. What are you studying?
I'm currently reading my PhD in agribusiness.
And what specifically are you researching on? I know PhDs, I've been told PhDs do a lot of fancy research. What are you researching on?
So currently, I'm looking at how we can commercialize agricultural technologies that are developed in Ghanaian universities and research institutions to see how far we can take them from the shelves and transfer them to industry so that researchers can gain something from their inventions and industry can also upscale production from these innovations.
Oh, good. Good. So almost like making sure that to some degree indigenous innovations are applied effectively in the local context in which they are developed. Is that something like that then?
Very right. Very, very right.
Good, good. And how did you make the decision to go to grad school? Were you dreaming about being a PhD student right from childhood? How was that decision made for you?
Yes, so I'll say that growing up, I had wanted to be a medical doctor.
Okay.
And when that dream was not realized, from first year, I found myself reading a Greek. And I would say that my dad has been a big motivation in this journey. Because it's like, yeah, if you never made it to medical school, you can still be called a doctor by studying and pursuing higher education to the PhD level. So that's how the whole dream had to like form, and then I had to just work to get that dream achieved.
It appears that your dad is a very important motivation for you then. Is that the case?
Very much, very much. He inspires me a lot, and he's the kind of dad that even when you call him and say, I had an F in a subject, he says, no, then everybody got F. If you got an F, then everybody failed. Because it's like, to me, you are the best. So that's the kind of dad I have. And he keeps pushing me to go further. And that's
Oh,
how come I've
that's
come this far. Yeah.
that's very nice. And I mean, it sounds like family is a big thing for you, based on what you are saying. I have been told that you are also a mother. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm a mother of two, a boy and a girl. Yes.
How is motherhood going for you?
It's a full time job. Like so it's a full-time job with extra time,
Oh,
unexpected extra
wow.
time. Yes, that's how I'll
Full-time
just
job
put it.
with overtime. Wow,
Yes.
that's a lot of work. Did you have your children when while you were still a grad student?
So I had one, the first one. I had
Hmm.
the first one when before I entered the PhD program.
Hmm.
So that was fine. I felt like okay, so I could balance that with school, and then along the line, another journey started.
Okay. Talk to me about, and when you say journey, you mean pregnancy.
Exactly.
Okay, so the next journey happened while you were a grad student.
So let me say, let me just give you a few more details.
Okay,
When I was expecting when I applied for the PhD scholarship, which was sometime September 2019. And then when I joined the program, COVID happened in
okay.
2020.
So you were pregnant when you joined the program.
Exactly.
Okay. How pregnant were you? Like, were you pregnant with your tummy out, or like what? I mean, obviously, I don't know a lot about pregnancy, but were you fully pregnant,
Yeah.
moderately pregnant, or minimally pregnant?
It was very conspicuous.
Oh, conspicuously pregnant.
Yes, because once you see me in class, you know, oh, no, this lady has a big tummy, and it was obvious. And
Okay.
so I would say I was like 5 months pregnant when I started attending lectures, and there was
How was that? How was attending lectures while 5 months pregnant? I mean, I've heard that different people handle pregnancy differently. How was that whole process for you? Were you sleeping in class?
yeah, I wasn't sleeping, but it comes with its own level of tiredness. So you get to the class and you are panting a bit.
Okay.
I feel strong. I feel okay, but then you'll be panting a bit. You have to take water intermittently. You have some hot flashes here and there. You find yourself sweating when everybody is very fine, and then it's like, ah, this lady needs help. Then a few colleagues will say, "Would you like to sit where I'm sitting? Would you want to be close to the door?" Like giving you a helping hand here and there. And there were some,
Why did you need to be close to the door? Because you had to use the restroom?
yes, just in case you might want to use the restroom, so you don't have to walk. Trying to get
Oh, I
to
see.
distract other colleagues and all that. So they prefer to keep me by the door. So just in case I want to step out, it's easier. And I appreciate those pampering sessions and help from my colleagues very much.
Like, was the baby moving in your tummy while you were in class?
Oh yeah, she kicks sometimes.
The baby was kicking while you were studying.
Yeah, those
That
sessions,
that sounds
those episodes
uncomfortable.
were there. Yes, but a more uncomfortable instance happened. So
Okay.
I'll share that along the
Okay.
line.
Yeah, so um because I know a lot of people, we have a lot of like mothers or prospective mothers listening, and so I'm really interested in how you handled being 5 months pregnant, in your own words, conspicuously pregnant, and your grad school responsibilities. How did you manage? How did you manage to do that?
Yes, so like I said, there was a first child already, and
Okay, so your
by
experience?
yes, I had a bit of experience, but by
Mhm.
then my husband was not in Accra, so he was not staying with us. So it was
Okay,
just myself, my little boy, and then my tummy going, dropping him in school. Then I come
okay.
for lectures. I still have to make time for my assignments.
hmm
And my husband was coming to Accra once in a month. So it was like a schedule I'll have to just work around managing the boy and then the pregnancy. But then I had to just make time for the assignments. So as soon as we are given assignments, it means I have to sit, finish it up in a day or two, and I know it's off my shelf. And then I can focus on other things. So I had to sometimes try and read ahead. It wasn't easy, but it's what I find myself doing. So I have to make
Okay.
sure I work around it. I had to prioritize actually. So academic work first, no, family first, then academic work, then any other thing. So it was shuffling between those two.
Was it difficult?
It was difficult.
I mean, I cannot imagine what you went through at the time, having to combine all these pieces, um, and still make everything work. Did you feel that your academic work suffered because of that? That you were
I would
not really at your best because of that, having to deal with pregnancy and taking care of the baby and all that?
exactly. So there were some times I found it a bit depressing.
Okay,
And cause it's like you read the assignment and you go like, no, this I could have done better. This is not me. This is not a reflection of me. But then the thing is, you can't make extra time to read more.
right.
So you just have to submit the assignment as it is. And maybe upon hindsight, you just feel like, oh, I could have done it this way. But it's already gone. The grade is already out. You might not be so happy about the grade, but it's like, it's fine. You can move on with it. So those are some of the issues I had to deal with.
I've been told that pregnant women like to eat different things.
I had some cravings, yes,
Cravings that
but
you had, yes.
yeah. So, but in the situation I found myself is like somehow when you're on campus, you have to
Mhm.
just manage with whatever you find in the cafeteria or around. So you might have the cravings, but then again, you have to just munch on something quickly and then get to the next session.
What were you
And
craving?
the typical Ghanaian dishes like there's something we call the banku and okra stew.
Wow.
And
I'm not
usually,
pregnant, but I'm craving that right now.
then I'm not a
Uh,
fan of a delicacy we call wache.
mm,
But then when I'm pregnant, I want some wache with some hot black pepper, very spicy. And spicy food is not good for pregnant women. So
it's not?
no, so you get a heartburns and all that. So I end
Oh,
up
I
eating
see.
that, and then I have the heartburns. Then I was chewing ice intermittently. So whenever I'm going to class, I need to have some ice cubes in my flask. And then whenever I try to chew it, I disturb the other colleagues in the class or in the library. But then they spare me because it's like, oh, maybe it's the baby causing that. So,
Wow.
so
That's very, that's very interesting. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's quite intriguing. I'm pleasantly surprised. So on a good
about
day, you could chew a few ice cubes then?
oh yes. So I always have to make sure my ice cube tray, like it's always filled in the freezer just in case. But
Wow.
after delivery, everything just goes away.
Okay. So now you have gone through almost this roller coaster of mixed emotions and eating wache and craving wache and okro and um, grinding ice in your mouth in class, and all that after the 9 months delivery. How was that experience for you for this baby? Was it
Oh,
same as the first one? How did that go? How did that whole process go?
so this all smooth pregnancy journey along the line had a different twist.
Okay,
So I managed to pull through, like it was COVID started in January. So by February, the university had to shut down for us to now start having virtual classes and virtual sections.
okay.
So I was due sometime in May.
Hmm.
And so I got to the hospital and there were a few delays here and there. But I would say that the unfortunate happened. I lost this beautiful baby girl at 39 weeks and 5 days.
Really?
A week to my exam.
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's
How did
okay.
you? My goodness. How how was that for you? Like emotionally, I cannot imagine how you felt.
It it was heartbreaking, and I kept asking myself, how am I going to come back to this class That's everybody saw me pregnant, and then per their estimation, people will start sending you messages to check on you, like, is our baby in? How is everything? And I asked myself, how am I going to deal with it? So while I was on the hospital bed, I just asked them to discharge me so I could go home and then probably like process it and then take it easy. And they said, no, we can't discharge you. You need to have a psychologist. You need to be around for a while. And every day you hear babies crying on the ward. I said, no, I can't deal with this. I have an exam next week. Can I go home and prepare for my exam? I felt like it's a phase that is just, it has just ended as it is. So let me just go home and then look at the other task, family and then school. So let me go and attend to school and then see what will happen. It was a fatal incident,
Yeah.
but fortunately, I lost the baby. I came out alive, so it's fine. Let me just move on to the next step. So that's how it was.
So, oh wow, wow. So because you were in the maternity ward and you were hearing other babies cry, right?
Right, right, right.
And actually made you feel worse, certainly.
Terribly. Like, I mean, like I came here knowing that I'll go home with the baby, like, and now I'm going empty-handed. Probably, let me try say I'm going with my suitcase and no
Oh, you
baby.
had a suitcase with the kids, the clothing for the new baby.
Exactly. So you have to pack
I'm
your
sorry,
bag.
Roselynn. Oh,
Yeah.
this makes me incredibly sad.
It's okay. It's okay. There's another good news, so
Okay, okay, I
yeah.
think I think
So
just so
don't be
that I
too
can
sad.
continue with this, please tell me some so you came back home, um, and then you had exams the following week.
Yes.
So
So
certainly you had to cancel the exam and make sure did you write the exam?
I had to, no, the university still moves on, like whether you are emotionally down or not, life goes on. So it's like I had to just snap out of it quickly. You wouldn't get over it. It's in your mind and all that. But I had to learn and then sit for the exam and then move on. So that was it. I came and the results were good. They were not that bad. So I realized that there's still light at the end of the tunnel for the PhD program. And once I'm alive, probably another one will come. And that
Okay,
was that was the hope I had.
were your lecturers and professors supportive? Was your family support? Like what support system helped you pull through that?
Yes, so family came out. So I tried to let them know that, well, I'm grieving. People grieve differently.
Okay,
I wouldn't want us to be brooding over this like over and over again. Like, oh, did you
okay,
see the baby? Did you go and see her? How did she
okay,
look? Did she have a lot of
okay,
hair? No. So I had to just let them understand that we grieve differently.
okay.
I would rather be alone, focus on the positives, and probably this is not the time for her to come.
Hmm.
She has her own destiny. If she's gone, it's okay. And that's how I had to just calm myself down. And there was this strong instinct that, oh, this baby will come back. And interestingly, I was there with my 3-year-old boy.
Hmm.
He was very young. He,
Hmm.
he he knew I was pregnant, but then he didn't know what it was. But
Hmm.
one morning, he just walked to me, like from bed. He just came. I was sitting in the living room, and he just said, "Mommy, she'll come back, okay?" And I was like, "Who?" And all he said was baby. And I kept asking myself, does he even understand what he's saying? Does he understand? So that stayed with me. I was like, if this boy is telling me she's going to come back, let me just wait. But the doctors were telling me, the way things went, I'm not sure you're going to have any child again. So I had to now balance this news and then this other word from the little boy.
Okay. Did she
But
come back?
family, she did.
Oh, okay. Talked and that's that happened while you were still in grad school.
Yeah, I am still in grad school,
Wow,
so
Roselynn, you were busy.
I had to be busy. I didn't have to be down. Like that was not all. Like I mean, that was not the end of the story. So it's like I mean, once she'll come back, let's prepare for her to come back.
Okay, so you went to the lab immediately and started cooking something.
So you have to allow the body to heal.
So this the baby came back. Was it same process managing the pregnancy, same cravings, same protocols, everything the same? How was this one? How was this pregnancy?
So what I'll say is if one is not careful, the previous instance can make you too like can put a certain fear in you,
Okay,
and then you become overly cautious.
okay.
So that was something I was trying to guard against. And the most daring thing I did was the doctor who I had the unfortunate incident with.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, no, let me give him a second chance. That was what
Okay,
I said to myself, because it was equally traumatizing for him. So I called him and told him I have conceived. He couldn't believe it. Then he said, you know what, this time let's manage it well. So
okay.
there was a point I had to go and spend like a whole month in the hospital, like to be on bed rest and all that. But I would say that the department was very supportive. The department, the faculty, very,
Mm-hmm.
very supportive. It was excellent. You know, like there were lecturers who just say, just take it easy. You know, the PhD is an achievement. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. You can always get back to a PhD program, even if this one doesn't go well. But
You wouldn't have made it through without that?
it wouldn't have been easy.
Do you feel you are in a place of good balance?
I would say it's still work in progress.
Okay.
Yes, I would say the balance it's not it's still not very balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um, so we're still juggling, and it's not been easy, but we are almost there. Like I said, it's
Okay.
work in progress.
So
I'll be
you
done with school soon.
okay, so you take her to lectures then, and you have to like squeeze milk for her in a milk bottle and all that.
Yeah, so when lectures had to continue, whenever I have a presentation, if my mother-in-law is around, I express and then they manage it at home.
Okay,
But in instances where she's not around, sometimes I bring her to campus. You find like a lecturer might want to hold the baby for you whilst you just grab some lunch, or a friend or other students. So there was a time I needed to submit my documents for ethical clearance so that I could go to the field for data collection. And one of my colleagues just came and said, once she has already eaten, I think I can play with her whilst you go around to print your documents and then submit it. And I felt like it was a great relief for me, because I had to just have her in one hand. Sometimes you are driving and she's
okay.
crying and all that, but she was able to take care of the baby whilst I go submit the documents and come back, which I think like there are other students who to offer like to lend a helping hand when things get very tight. But there are days you don't get anyone, and I can be in the room and cry. I break down and I
Oh
cry. So those
no.
those times are also there. That's why I say it's work in progress. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Well, that's interesting. The baby doesn't like crying, right?
yeah. I'll say she's a very good one. Very very good baby.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah,
She's
very
not like me when I
accommodating.
was a little boy. I used to keep the whole neighborhood awake with my tears.
Oh, then that should be a frustrating one. But then
Yeah,
just
yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah.
Perfect. All right. So, I think I've really enjoyed chatting with you. I think our topic is unconventional but important. What I would want you, I mean, thinking back, looking forward at the same time, if there are um, mothers, in higher education, grad school, who are having to essentially manage maternity in grad school, what would be your advice for them based on the experience that you've had going through this process 3 times? How do you think they can be productive while still being functional as mothers?
Yes, so I'll start by saying something that one of my lecturers shared with me a couple of weeks back. I was so depressed and I went to her. I needed to travel for a training for a PhD academy, and I had to leave the baby behind. And I was like, oh no, like I didn't know what to do. And should I take the baby? Should I leave the baby? It was like, I was a bit confused. I was of 2 months. And then all she told me was, you get to a point where you have to trust someone. You can't do things all by yourself.
Okay.
Ask for help when you can, and let things that are out of your control stay out of your control.
Okay.
Yes, and it has lived with me, and it's the day I had that talk with her, because she had her babies in the US, and she was also having like her PhD. And the day she said that, I had this, I felt calm. I was like, well, if you get someone you can trust, make sure you
Okay.
trust the person to do the job. There are highs and lows. Even those without children also have their very depressing moments along
Mm-hmm.
the journey. Don't put the blame on the baby. The the emotional moments will come after delivery. The hormones will work. You feel like you are in it alone. Everything is a mess, and there are times the grades will not go as you want them. But being a mother is also a beautiful experience. Enjoy it with the studies. Combine it. You have the strength to do that. You are strong. If you don't push yourself, you wouldn't know how strong you are. So dare yourself a little bit, try hard to combine, and all together you have a beautiful experience. You graduate, you have your PhD certificate, and then you have a baby with a PhD. So
Oh, wow.
that's one.
That's it. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, interesting. Anytime my daddy calls me, he says, how is my granddaughter who already has a PhD? So no matter how challenging, it's a beautiful story when all the pieces come together.
All right. So, talking about um, P completing your PhD, are you finishing up soon, or which stage are we at?
Yes, so I'm almost getting into the final year. I should be submitting my thesis and hopefully to defend it beautifully and graduate
And
together with the family.
oh, wow. And are you planning to beautifully have another baby to kind of
Ah,
close close the chapter in a very beautiful way?
oh, I think this baby came to crown the whole PhD journey, so I think
And
yeah.
I think motherhood, higher education is something that we do not attend to in a holistic way. But I think that your story will be inspirational in a way to a lot of women or an aspiring mothers or young women and young people who are thinking about the challenges of managing a home, managing a career, in addition to pursuing higher education
You
moment
are
for all of
listening
us.
to
So thank you,
NMDA
Roselynn,
Talk.
for coming. Do you have any final words for us before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that this story will inspire another woman or another person. It might not necessarily be a woman, but it will help another man to understand a woman when she is going through such situations. Sometimes you only need to relate and then be empathetic, even if it's not you. And oftentimes I realize that we all have problems delegating, be it the man or the woman. But whenever you delegate, trust the person to do a good job. It's
Mhm.
enough motivation. So whenever someone steps in to help, let them know they are useful and let them know they are trusted. It gives more confidence and it inspires the person to deliver more. So
Okay.
basically, that's it. And
Mm.
I wish everybody the best in whichever career path or whichever educational path they are on. And together we'll all meet at the top, no matter the challenges.
Well said. Thank you very much, Roselyn, for your time. I appreciate the opportunity. and I'm sure we'll talk again at some
Thanks
point.
for having me. Yeah,
All right.
it's a
Thank you
it's a
very much.
pleasure. Yeah, thank you too.